back, everybody. This is the thejonnymar, and I am continuing with Stardew Valley. It's my playthrough as a Joja Operative. So in this particular episode, we are actually finally going to get to one of the big events of this particular playthrough, and that is the Stardew Valley Fair. Maybe a lot of stuff to do for that particular event, but that won't be happening until tomorrow. So we have a little bit more to do today in terms of our usual chores. Yes, we do have tappers. We've been using them throughout the playthrough to get all sorts of wonderful things like maple syrup. And I have figured out what to display in our Grange display or Grange display. And we do have our new house here. What we'll not do with this new house, even though it's pretty awesome with its new stuff here, we have a crib and a few beds, is this wallpaper. We're going to have to buy some new Joja wallpaper to put on the wall. We have a nice rainy day here, so we don't have to worry about watering. Not that we have to do a lot of watering anyway with our sprinklers, but we do have to also grab a lot of items from our field here. But let's see what's in the mail today. Yes, we know that the Stardew Valley Fair is tomorrow. You keep reminding us about it. Alright, so let's grab all of this stuff here. Make sure we got all of our stuff that we need from our field here, and then we'll replant and do the rest of our chores. And that should work for what we need to do today. So we're going to show off all the different options you can get for the Stardew Valley Fair. I'm going to show off the kind of worst case scenario where you have a bunch of items that aren't that great. Then I'll show off what happens if you have a bunch of really high quality items, and then also the secret scene that happens when you use the mayor's shorts. So the purple boxer shorts. So we'll see all three of those particular scenes. But we do have another thing of maple syrup, so that means we can actually get another bee house. We're getting very close to having our maxed out bee house formations down here. Alright, and let's head into our greenhouse here, and we have a new item here, the corn juice. So this is an artisan good. When you put corn, which I accidentally did by putting it into this keg here. But we're going to continue to create our pale ale instead. And today is actually Sandy's birthday. And I believe on certain days, perhaps Mondays, Emily actually comes out to visit Sandy. So Sandy will not be in her shop. Her and Emily are actually going to walk around the desert together and talk and so on and so forth. So we do have an item for Sandy on her birthday, and we're not going to give her a piece of coral. We're actually going to give her one of her favorite items, which is a coconut. Lucky you, Sandy. So there you go. Another birthday taken care of as we boosted Sandy up to 2 hearts with one of her liked gifts. It's nice that she likes gifts right here from the desert. It's easy to find them. So not many left that haven't gotten at least to 2 hearts. And there we go. We got to the bottom of the mines, the last major objective for this particular playthrough. To finish off the mines, get to floor 120, and we find the Skull Key. An important item to open up the Skull Caves out in the desert. And we'll get around to that eventually. For now, though, we have completed our final objective, and everything else we do in this particular playthrough is gravy, as they say. Or icing on the cake. Whatever analogy or cliche or metaphor you want to use. Let's get out of here. Alright, so that was a pretty productive day. I got a bunch of Joja wallpaper. I outfitted the house a bit with some new items. Finally used all of those specialty items. I did notice that we missed a little middle part there next to the kids' room. So we will have to buy at least one more piece of wallpaper and see if maybe we can do Haley's room as well. Because we are a Joja family through and through. But we have finally done it. We've gotten to the fair, something I've been mentioning over and over and over again. And we are at the day 16 of fall. Let's do our usual little things here in the morning. We'll do our basic chores around the house, and then we'll grab our items to head over to the fair as Haley creates a nice little dish for us, the bread. And then I will do my chores off screen, and I will meet you over at the fair because we've got a lot to do there in terms of all the things we can do. So here we are at the fair. We can trade in star tokens for special items. Now the thing, of course, we want is the star drop. But added in a later patch, 1.6 I believe, is these prize tickets. So we do want to have enough star tokens to get the prize ticket as well. And you want to make sure that if you are going to be putting the mayor shorts into your display, you do not talk to the mayor before you put them into the display itself. Because if you do an accident like I just did here, it will actually give the shorts to the mayor, and then you will not be able to use them. So that was not a good thing. Oh well, we still have our cans of cola to put into our display. If we head up here, we have Gus, and he has basically been creating some wonderful grilled items here. Now when I first played this game, I thought these were like basically vending machines, but now when I look at them, I see them as big grills with pieces of meat on, burgers and steaks, I would assume. But you can keep eating as much as you want, and essentially just keep eating until it stops showing up as regaining health, and that will mean you've recovered all of your fatigue for the day. Should you want to do anything once you get home, but keep in mind once you leave the fair, it will fast forward to 10 p.m., so you won't necessarily have a ton of time left. There's a lot to do at the fair. We have a variety of games you can do. You can have the good old hammer hit game here on the scale. And then we have the other competitors in the best looking display. So of course we have Pierre, and he will actually win by default. If you don't win, then Pierre wins. And then we have Marnie. She has a pretty cool display here. Some eggs, a massive cheese wheel, and some cloth. And then Willie, unfortunately, he just did all of one real thing, which is fish, and then, of course, a few oysters there. For the display, if you want a very high score, you want high-quality products, and you want a variety of products, and also rare products. So I will be showing that off. Again, my idea here was to do a bunch of colas with the shorts in the middle. We accidentally gave the shorts to the mayor, so we are just going to do the colas, and that should give us a pretty low score. So you can see kind of what happens and what the mayor says. Essentially, when you get your display graded, you get star tokens based on how you did. So obviously you want to do the best you can. If you can get first place, you'll get 1,000 star tokens. And then depending on what place you get and how many points you get, that will determine the number of star tokens. And then if you do the mayor shorts, well, then you get a special number of star tokens and a special reaction from the mayor as well as from Marnie. So don't worry, we'll be showing all that off. It's okay. See, you're smoking out here, Sebastian. Down here we have Welwick. She's, of course, the fortune teller who tells us about the spirits each day, and we can actually have our fortune read. This is semi-random. It is randomly generated based off of events that have occurred so far in your playthrough. So it's reacting to Pam's birthday. And then, geez, our time together in the dark. Yeah, it starts with an H. Who could that be? Don't tell Haley. And then we harvested a plump, ripe melon. Are you sure that isn't a continuation of the previous item that you were talking about there? Alright, so the future isn't set in stone. That all sounded like it was from the past, but maybe not. Maybe you were alluding to Haley and I eventually having children. Who knows? Apparently the wizard knows Welwick pretty well, and they are good friends. So everyone else is displaying stuff at the fair. I'm not sure if any of you have been to fairs before. We do have a local fair, a county fair near where I live. And so we tend to go every year. Last year I took my daughter for the first time, and it was the first fair she had ever been to. And she spent way more money than I was hoping she would. Because stuff is very expensive these days. All the games are like $5 to play for your little things that you get from them. And then of course all the food is super expensive too. at least at the fair we go to, you kind of pay one price, and that gives you access to all the rides. You don't have to pay for each individual ride. So she could ride as many rides as she wanted to. But we have a sad clown over here. Emily thinks she could have been a clown in a different life. And then we have all these different games, and we'll be showing off the different games as well. So there's 4 total games. There's a fishing game, there's a random chance game where you have to pick a color, either green or orange. There's a slingshot game, which I hate, and then there is the strength game. And then there's all of these random tourists that only show up for the particular fair here. Penny apparently is very lucky. She got told, do not play this game anymore because you have been winning too much. Yeah, we do have a good sense of community around here. Make sure to play the games and spend a lot of money at Joja, not at Pierre's. But alright, let's get this show on the road. We need to talk to the mayor again to get him to go off and actually grade the displays. And while he's doing that, I'm going to play the strength game here. And you actually get 2 reactions. If you can get it at the top, you'll get a particular reaction from the person running the game. And then if you actually get it at the lowest level, you'll get another reaction. I think you get 1 star token each time. So there we go. Got a star token for hitting the top. Alfredo sauce, nice. But the mayor is done grading, so let's go talk to him. So we got 4th place with a score of 37 with our trash that is the Joja Cola. And we get 50 star tokens for participating. Woo! That is pretty bad. Remember, you get 1,000 if you win. So Pierre wins, of course. Marnie, I don't know what place. I would assume 3rd or 2nd, and then Willie, of course, is 3rd. But we'll grab our leftover colas here. Gotta make sure to clean this out. I think if you leave the items in here, they actually added an option to get them back by going to the mayor's house. It's either the mayor's house or Pierre's, and then they will have the different items that you left behind so that you can get them back. Because obviously if you're using really rare items, then that is a problem because you don't want to lose them. Star tokens are very expensive to purchase, so unless you have like millions of dollars, I wouldn't recommend that. And of course, this is a 50-50 shot. My favorite color is green. I'm just going to bid 1 star token. We'll see how we do. That is going to be orange. So we lost our star token. Let's go and do the slingshot game. I basically never use the slingshot in this game. So for this particular game, I am not very good. You gotta try to hit as many targets as you can. Get as many points as you can. Try not to miss too often because they also count you on accuracy. And of course, I am not doing well here. So you want to try to hit multiple at once if possible. I would imagine those purples are worth quite a bit. Not sure I've ever gotten a purple before. Get a purple! Anything else? Got a little time left here. It's going a little bit faster. Alright, there we go. 69 accuracy. Nice. That was pretty bad. So we are not going to be doing this game. So obviously if you want that star drop and any of the other items, you need to play games in order to get the star tokens, and the game I play is the fishing game. So as long as you've done at least a little bit of fishing, you should be able to play the fishing game pretty well. Just walk right up to the water and do the lowest level cast, and then try to catch as many fish as you can. And if you can keep it in the bar and get a perfect, you get bonus points. But there is one particular fish, 1 or 2, that you have a chance of catching that are actually pretty hard to catch. Typically you're going to see things like salmon, smallmouth bass, and then I believe there's some harder ones as well, and occasionally you'll also get a seaweed. So I just hold the button down so that he casts immediately after catching the fish. Oh, I'm getting some bad luck here. But most of the time I will catch 6 to 7 fish. I'll get a score around 150 or so, and then I'll get like 3 or 4 perfects, sometimes more. And that'll all equal out to about 400 or so star tokens per time that you do this. So it's by far the easiest for me to acquire star tokens from, and the best value in terms of money, and then just time investment too. So in this case, needing 3,000 star tokens, I would need to play, you know, maybe 5 or 6 times, maybe a little bit more, to get the leftover tokens after getting the 1,000 from the display, or the 750 if you use the shorts. But yeah, I'm getting really bad luck here. I keep getting the harder fish. But if you do manage to get one right before the time runs out, they will let you finish it off, which is nice. So what I'm going to do is I will actually play through this again. I will show off the other possible options with the Grange display, and then I will get all the tokens I need and show you the items I'm going to be picking up. So I'll be back in a little bit after I do all that. Alright, so here we have the display proper with the purple shorts. Unfortunately, he does not actually visually react to seeing them in the display, but he will have a different message once you actually go and talk to him. So what'd you think, Mayor? Were you excited by that display? Maybe you should give a tax break to Joja, and then maybe we wouldn't do things like this to embarrass you. You, was that some kind of sick prank? These are very private. Take your 750 star tokens and don't tell a soul. Now go clean up your box and bring me my item tomorrow. So he actually lets you give him the item back and still get the reward benefit from it, which is interesting. And then Marnie has new dialogue too. Purple lettuce. Yeah, it was purple lettuce, that's right. It wasn't like Mayor Lewis's special underwear. And the rest just say the same things. Oh well. So here is a proper display. Some good quality items, some rare items, a nice variety, some cooked stuff, some forage, some vegetables, things that I grew, a fish as well, and we almost got a perfect score of 100. So we got first place with our 1,000 tokens. So that just leaves us with 2,000 more to get. And if we happen to get any extra, well then we can get something like the cool fedora. Yeah, suck it, Pierre. You finally lost. Take that. Join Joja and thrive. It's the only way to be. Yeah, you did a good job, Marnie. That massive cheese wheel is something to be proud of. I would love to eat it. Alright, so I have finished up my fishing. We got all the star tokens I want here. So we're going to get the star drop, of course. And then we'll get the lucky ticket, and then the fedora. And maybe I will use whatever's left to get that dried sunflower or whatever it is. That is another star drop added to our inventory. So get that prize ticket, the fedora as well. It's about time we got a new thing to wear on our head. And then the dried sunflowers too. There we go, we finished up the fair. Finally done with that particular quest, that particular event. Our foraging is at 12. Not sure why, maybe from eating all of the burgers or getting the star drop, I suppose. And we're getting a special event here. was a strong windstorm during the night. This is related to the tree south of our farm. So we'll head over there and check that out today after getting a good night's sleep. We got a couple things to do before we finish up this episode. We got to show our moment of mindfulness as well. Every day I've been getting hardwood, and so I will show you what that's been looking like by doing my moment of mindfulness for this episode. Beautiful sunny day tomorrow. Spirits are mildly perturbed, and the Queen of Sauce is telling us about bread, which we know already. And Haley has been cleaning again. Good on ya. Alright, so I'm going to do my chores around the farm, and then I will meet you back, and we'll check out what that event was that was going on in the night related to that tree south of my farm. But first, a moment of mindfulness. Been your moment of mindfulness for this episode. Alright, so we are going down to the tree. You'll notice it has a big question mark. It's going to ask us for 100 pieces of hardwood to fix it. Of course we're going to do that. And then once we fix it, it is now a little house. Maybe someone will decide to move in. Someone or something. We shall see. So we have another lucky ticket here. Let's grab our mystery boxes. I believe that question mark box is where you can get your stuff back if you leave it at the fair, but I could be mistaken. Alright, and we're actually going to use some of our items here on the boat to Ginger Island as well. We're going to fix up the ticket machine and the boat itself, and now we just need the iridium bars. We'll see if we get that. Here are your special shorts, Mayor Lewis. Sorry about the display yesterday. Maybe you should consider giving a tax credit to Joja, or allowing them to create some more stuff around town. But for now, I will accept 750 gold for returning them. Discreetly, yeah. But he's very happy with us. He's tied with Pam. And that is it for another episode here in the Valley. So as always, viewers, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll see y'all next time as we continue on in fall and see perhaps who moves into that house that we built with the hardwood. And now we're getting another special event right before the episode ends, and that's the fairy event. Yay! The fairy is actually going to come and make this little zone of crops grow instantly. So thank you, little fairy. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all in my next episode. So long. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please press like and leave a comment below. Please also subscribe to my channel and press the notification bell. See you next time.